Everybody, this recording is for a healthy pregnancy of Rivkah Badayana. Today, we want to talk about this week's parsha. We're going to see that Aharon HaKohen, the beloved of all the Jewish people who, when he passed away, all the Jewish people, men and women, cried for him, passes away. And opposed to Moshe Rabbeinu, we see that when Moshe Rabbeinu passed away, before he passed away, he wanted so much to go into Eretz Yisrael, and he was told that he's not going in. He davened no less than 515 tefillot, prayers to get in, and it didn't work. But Aharon HaKohen, Aharon and Moshe, they had the same decree that they couldn't go into Eretz Yisrael. We don't see, at least in the Chumash, in the Torah, that he went out of his way to pray to get into Eretz Yisrael. He accepted it upon himself that he's going to die in the desert and not going. The question is why? What's the difference between Moshe and Aharon? Like Moshe was dying to go in and was praying and praying very hard, and Aharon, it seems like he was okay with it. So our sages tell us something that talks to us in our generation, in every generation, and that's about chinuch yeladim, how we bring up our kids. You know that Aharon HaKohen, he had 4 righteous sons. Moshe Rabbeinu also had 2 sons. I'm sure they were also righteous. But Aharon HaKohen, he got to see that his sons are going to continue his legacy after him. In fact, when they went up the mountain and Aharon HaKohen was about to pass away, he saw that Eliezer was being dressed in the 8th clothing of the Kohen Gadol, and that gave him a lot of pleasure. That although he's passing away, not going to Eretz Yisrael, his son is going to carry the torch into Eretz Yisrael. But Moshe Rabbeinu, when he was told that he's not going to Eretz Yisrael, he was also told that Yehoshua is going to take over, not his son. So he saw that unlike his brother Aharon, he doesn't have somebody to continue the torch and legacy, and that's why he was praying so much to continue, as long as he's here, to work on himself and to get as much as mitzvahs as he can. You see from here how important it is, especially in our generation, to get our kids to go in the right direction. Because although we have to do our mitzvot ourselves and work on ourselves for 120 years, but we all know after 120 years a person passes away. But what they leave behind over here, the kids and the education they gave to them, and the sacrifices they made, and they brought them up in the right direction, and they made sure they didn't go with the wrong friends, and they didn't give them phones without filters that they're being going off the derech and what have you. Instead of crying later, they put the time and effort now, like Aharon HaKohen did, and he got such pleasure when he was passing away because he knew that he's leaving this world with the torch in the right hands. So too, with us, after 120 years, although today we might say, oh, it's hard for me, everybody's doing it, all the kids are like this, forget about everybody else. You work on your own kids, because after 120 years, we want to see them to go in the right direction and follow the legacy of the Torah and not cry going into the next world knowing that what could have been if I would have taught my son or my daughter differently. Because Hashem, we should all be successful in giving the right education to our children like Aharon HaKohen, and to be happy after 120 years to know that we're giving the torch to the right hands and that will carry the legacy in the Torah learning. Amen.